you hear me or no?
All right, guys. So good morning and welcome to your introductory tutorial to how to use your Realtour accounts, okay? As long as everyone can see my screen, I'm logged into my Realtour account. I'm just moving my mouse around in a circle in the middle because you're going to need to be able to see what I'm doing. We all have the same home page or dashboard. That's what we call this page. So whether you are a real estate agent or one of our photographers or a sales rep, when you log in to your Realtor account, you're going to land on this same page, okay? I'm going to give you one tip before we get into the products. If you're new and you're going to create your Realtor account, I strongly advise you, once you've landed on this page, to go to My Account, and I'm going to go in there now, contact info, okay? Take a few minutes and fill in your contact information, okay? So put in your address, and that might be your home office or your office, whatever you want all of your listings and marketing materials to be associated with. So if it makes more sense for that address to be your office address, put that in there. Add your contact information, and again, this is the stuff that's going to show up on your marketing materials, okay? Everything like this, take a minute to do this. If I go back up here to the top, also, if you have social media accounts that you want to use, enter the addresses in here, the URLs. Okay, if you have a headshot, which most of you do, and again, we're looking at my account, so everything you see in my account is just fake. I just upload a bunch of stuff for testing and tutorials. So upload your headshots. Here's a whole bunch of fake headshots, and upload your logos. Okay, here's a bunch of logos that I just used for testing. You'll see as we go along that this will just save you so much time in the future when you're making stuff, because all of this information will auto-populate into whatever product you're making, okay? And that just saves time. So that's what I always like to say right off the bat. When you first make your account and you land on your dashboard, go into My Account and fill in this information, and then it will be saved in your account forever, okay? All right. So having said that, what I'm going to do is take you through what our clients typically do. Oh, yep, I can hear you guys, sort of. You sound far away. Do you have a question?
Yes. So it's realtor.biz, right?
Yeah.
You have to have an account. If you don't have an account, I have to do that for you. You already have it, right? Okay.
Oh, you don't. Well, no, because I'm doing recordings now.
Yeah. Oh, so Jordan, you're not.
I'm doing recordings. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, he already has his stuff.
Oh, all this,
Yeah,
okay.
he already has all this stuff.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, I'll carry on. Okay, so typically our clients, when they get a new listing, they log into their account and they do this in this order, okay? They book a photo shoot, they make a virtual tour, they create an e-flyer and blast it out, and then they will usually make some print materials that they can have on hand that they can send out to people or they can hand out at open houses, okay? So these are our four main products that our clients use. Like 99% only use these top four products, and they do it in this order typically, okay? So this is how I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to pretend that I'm a real estate agent. I just got a new listing, and we're going to go through these step by step. So first thing I want to do is order a photo shoot. And why do I want to do that? Because let me tell you, everything now is visual, and it is so important to have really good quality imagery to use when you're marketing stuff, okay? You're going to put it on the MLS, you're going to put it in your website, you're going to put it in your virtual tour, you're going to put it in your e-flyers. It just makes sense to invest the money to get a photo shoot. And as you'll see, most of our photographers have basic photo packages that are like $130, maybe $140 for say 25 or 30 pictures. Trust me, it is so worth it, okay? All right, so click on photo shoots. The next page I land on has all of my listings that I've already set up in my Realtour account. If you're brand new, this page is going to be empty because you haven't created any listings yet, and that's totally fine. I have a bunch of listings because this is my test account, and I make all these fake listings for testing stuff and showing people how to use the software. When you guys land on this page, you're going to click on Create Listing. You always have to create a listing before you can do anything else. And the reason we do this is just so you can organize and group all of your marketing products together. They will always be grouped under the listing, okay? So it's just for everybody's benefit, for statistics, for organizing your own account, so on and so forth. You're going to create a new listing. You only have to create the listing once. So if I'm going to create a listing right now to book a photo shoot, and then next week I want to make an e-flyer, I don't have to create the listing twice. It already exists in my account, and I'll show you that when we go through the process, okay? So click on Create Listing. All right, the next page just has these 5 required fields underlined in green. It is just the address. That is all you need to fill in to get started, okay? So I'm just going to make up an address. I'm just going to say 123 Thursday Street, okay? I'm just going to say that I'm in Austin, Texas, USA, and then my zip code 78701. Okay, as soon as I filled in those required fields, I got a button that said Create Listing. If that's all I want to do, I can click Create Listing and move forward and book my photo shoot, okay? But if I have a bit of time and I have all the information on the listing, I can also add more details. So if I open this up, this is where I can add in all the details about the listing, the square footage, how many bedrooms, any extra property features like a swimming pool, so on and so forth. Down here at the bottom, I can add in my listing description text, a paragraph describing the listing, okay? So once again, if you have the time, do it now because, as I said earlier, with the My Account information, all the stuff you fill in here is going to auto-populate into your flyers, print material, and virtual tour, and then you don't have to do it, okay? However, having said that, it's not mandatory to do it now. If you're running out of the office because you've got a meeting, but you really want to get that photo shoot booked, don't bother. You don't have to, okay? All we have to do is hit Create Listing, and then we get to move to the next page, okay?
Jana?
Thank you, Beard. Yep,
Hey,
go ahead.
Jana?
Hi.
So is there a way for, like, let's say we already have it on the MLS, does this system automatically, like, get the information from the MLS?
Unfortunately, no. I'm telling you, for the past, I would say a decade, we have been trying to get that capability where if you enter stuff to the MLS or enter it on Realtour, we send it back and forth between each other, but we've never been allowed to do that. So that is something that is always on our radar that we would love to do to save you guys time and make your lives easier. But the powers that be on their side are not allowing that. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't understand the back end of all that stuff, but we're not allowed to do that, which is too bad. But if there ever comes a time where we can, then absolutely we will implement that because that would just make everyone's life easier. But for now, no, they don't communicate with each other, unfortunately. Okay. Okay, so moving on, the next page is going to show me the available photographers that service the zip code of the listing I just created, okay? All of our photographers have specific zip codes that they service because Texas is a massive place. And as you can imagine, you can't service everybody. You can't be driving 2 hours between shoots to different destinations. So we will only show you the photographers that service this zip code. And this was the listing I just made. So I can scroll down and look through them, okay? I can look at their availability calendars and see what dates they're available. I can look at the services they offer. I could look at their portfolio. I could see what their pricing is. I can do all of that right now, okay? If I find the photographer I want, and most of our clients have a favorite photographer and they just book from the same person over and over again. That's usually how it works, okay? Let's just say I'm going to go with Philip, okay? And oh, look at that. He's got availability tomorrow. Fantastic. I'm going to click on that date, and then it takes me to the next page. The next page is where I get to see what Philip's packages are and how much they cost. So right at the top, he's got a standard shoot, 20 images, it's $155. I can add on a floor plan if I want. I can scroll down, he's got more deluxe ones, he's got other stuff like that. A lot of our photographers offer floor plans, they offer Matterport tours, they offer videos, all that stuff. I chose Philip because he's a little simpler. And just for the introduction to Realtour, it's easier for you to see someone who's got a more simple stuff to offer. So if I want to choose Philip and I just want a standard photography with 20 images because I just have a small listing, I just tick the one I want, I hit continue. It brings me to a page where I have the opportunity to give Philip any instructions he needs on how to access the property, okay? Maybe he's gonna meet me there and then we can just continue. Maybe there's a lockbox. Maybe the owner's gonna be there and I wanna put their name and number. Maybe there's a security code. Anything like that I wanna do. You'll notice under my contact number, it's already auto-populated. So this is one of those things that happens because I put my phone number in my account. Little things like this, it's here already for me. So it's just a time saver. It doesn't mean I can't click in here and add it or change it to a different number, but the point is it's done for you. So again, trying to save time. Additional instructions, if there's anything I should tell Philip, maybe the homeowner wants pictures of the landscaping because they just had that done, or maybe there's a dog in the yard, whatever. They can fill all that stuff in, tick these little boxes, and then hit continue to move on to the next step. Okay, and guess what? The next step is literally just the shopping cart. So I know I did a lot of talking through that, but typically you can order a photo shoot in about 5 minutes. Enter the listing address. You're probably going to choose the same photographer you always use. Give them the instructions, and then you land in the shopping cart. Once you pay for it, then the shoot is officially booked, and it will go to the photographer's schedule, and they'll get an email, and you'll get an email, and it's on their schedule, okay? You'll notice when I look at the shopping cart, it just gives me a little review. Okay, I ordered from Philip. This was the listing address. This is when it's scheduled for. This is what I ordered. And then right here, Platinum Virtual Tour, free, okay? This is another reason I always say to people, go ahead and book a professional photo shoot because you get a free Platinum Virtual Tour, which is valued at $30. It's basically a single property website that focuses on your main listing, but you can also advertise all your other listings in there. It's free. So, I mean, really, I think it's a no-brainer to book a photo shoot. For $167, we're going to get beautiful pictures from Philip and a free Platinum Tour. And we can use those pictures anywhere we want, okay? So it's all good. All right, you'll also notice that there's a delete button in here. If you ever end up in the shopping cart and make a mistake, you can always delete out of the shopping cart. And I'm gonna delete so we don't accidentally book anything from Philip. Okay, so that's how you book a photo shoot. It's pretty easy. I'm gonna go back to the home page because next is my virtual tour, okay? I've got my beautiful pictures from Philip. Now I wanna do my virtual tour. So I click on virtual tours. And again, I land on the same page that I landed on when I first clicked on photo shoots. This is the page that has all of my listings. These are listings that I've created before. You guys might not have any listings, okay? In which case you're gonna have to create a listing and start from scratch. However, because I ordered a photo shoot and created a listing, my listing's already in here. Hurrah! Actually, sorry, I just showed you the wrong one. My listing is down here. It was 123 Thursday Street. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, I won't scroll through it. It'll be in here under 123 Thursday Street. What I want to show you is one of my existing listings, 111 Main Street, which is also fake. I want to show you this one because it already has pictures uploaded and text added and everything else, and it will just save us time for me to show you this one rather than do everything from scratch. So, next to my virtual tour under options, I'm going to choose edit the tour. Okay, I can check my statistics, I can edit, I can set this to inactive, right? Once the listing's sold and done. But for today, I'm going to hit edit, and this will bring us into the back end of the virtual tour. This page probably looks familiar as well because it is the property details page, which is the same page when we created the listing and only showed the top bit with the address. And then remember, I expanded it and showed everything else. This is what the page looks like when you've filled in all the information and have pictures uploaded. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down. You see I filled in all this information. Okay, you'll know I'm in the back end of one of our products because we have this across the top. We just call this the navigation bar. And we put this in the back end of all of our products so you can jump around back and forth however you want. You'll notice as we go through this that some of these features are totally optional and you don't have to use them and you might not want them. So we don't make you go through every page. A lot of our clients will fill in the property details, upload some pictures, and then jump to the end, go to the shopping cart, and they're done. They leave everything else in the middle. They don't need it. It's entirely up to you, okay? I also want to let you know at this time that you do not have to book a photo shoot through us to use any of our products. A lot of our clients have their own photographers or they take their own pictures, in which case they just on the homepage, they just click on virtual tour or e-flyer and upload their own pictures and make their own stuff. You also do not have to use us for all of our products. Some of our clients only use us for virtual tours, or they only use us for e-flyers. It's totally up to you, right? You can use us for everything or a little bit here and there. Doesn't matter. It's all good. Okay, getting back to the virtual tour. So property details page. I can come into this page anytime and edit any of these fields, right? I can click in any of them and make changes. Yep. Hi.
I have a question on this part right here. When you scroll down and it's the description box.
Yep.
Is that where you put like, because I know there's a bunch of other stuff on top of that you have to fill out, but what is showing in the email when it comes through? Because I know that it's not only gonna e-blast the flyer, but
yeah,
when we got it after, there was like no description on other than the flyer that we had.
Okay, so when you send out an e-flyer, if you filled in the property description, like your little paragraph describing everything here, at the very bottom of your e-flyer, underneath your contact information, underneath the flyer itself, all of this information should be in there. It's for people who don't have images turned on and can't see the flyer. That's like really old time technology, but that's how long we've been doing these. So we always put the text at the very bottom, but it has to be on this page. If it's only in the flyer itself, it won't show up outside of the flyer. So that's another reason why I say to people, fill in all your information on the property details page. And this will also show in the virtual tour, the single property website, which you'll see when we look at a sample of it. So always fill in your stuff here. If you just have it filled into the flyer itself, it's not going to show outside the flyer. Does that help?
It didn't show the bedrooms or anything like that.
We'll look at it. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's frozen, it's empty right now, like on the acorn bench.
Well, we have our
It's empty, but when you see like the flyer, like out there, like it's there, like under my listings, like it shows like the description that would be on the MLS.
Was that a test one?
This one is this one I think is the acorn bench.
Okay, we'll look at this after.
Like I worked.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably template specific. Like this information here all populates into your virtual tour single property website, and this populates into your flyer. But there are text fields in the flyer that you need to add information to that won't populate from here. So I'll show you that when we get into e-flyers. Okay? Okay, so property details, fill it in. It will save you in the future. Okay, next up on the navigation bar is media. Okay, so we have a lot of different media that you can include in your single property website. Most people just do straight photography, still photography, which is what you can see here in my account. And under photos, if I scroll down, you can see that we do plain old photography. We do panos. Those are panorama pictures. They're pretty old school, but you know, some people still use them. They basically show like a 360-degree view of the property. You can upload a video if you have one. If you've hired a photographer to do a Matterport tour, you can include that. If you have a custom link to something like, oh, right. So in this one, I have a Zillow tour. A couple of our photographers go out and do Zillow tours, so you can paste the link to that here in media. If you have floor plans associated with the listing and you want to include those in the single property website, you can do that. And then again, your headshot and logo, which I already did in my account, but if you didn't, you have a chance to do it here as well. Okay, so let's go back up to photos. You upload photos by mousing over photos, and then it opens up into upload images. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly click on upload images. Don't worry, I'm not going to do it because it would take forever. That's why I wanted to show you guys just how it works. But if I just navigate to wherever I have my images, here on my desktop, I've got a folder called images. I can open that up, and then I can click all of my images. And then I can just go from there. I can drag and drop them over, or I can upload them through Windows, however you want to do it. You don't have to do it one at a time. You can upload a whole bunch at a time. Now, I'm not going to do that, but that's how they get in here. Okay, beside upload, there's also download. And the reason we have this is because if you did book a professional photo shoot, right, you don't have the pictures saved on your own personal computer. What happens, and this is another reason why it's a great idea to book a photo shoot with one of our guys, To make your lives easier, our photographers have their own back end into Realtour. And once they have taken the photo shoot and processed the images, they'll log in and upload those pictures and create a virtual tour, which will go right into your account. At which point you'll get an email saying, hey, Jana, your virtual tour is ready. I can then log into my Realtour account, go to virtual tours, and my virtual tour is sitting here with all of my images ready to go. Okay? So that's another reason why. Just it makes your life so much easier. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the old days where you'd have to get zipped folders and download things from photographers and it was messy and people didn't know how to do it and blah, blah, blah. We took that, we tried to make it easier for everybody by just allowing our photographers access to our back end. Don't worry, they don't have access to your account. They can just send the pictures from their computer into your account, easy peasy. Okay? If you want to download the pictures out of your Realtor account and just have them on your own computer, then you can see here that you can download them at these 5 different sizes. So little mini thumbnails right up to extra large. If you've hired a graphic designer or somebody to make a flyer or signage for you, you can download the extra large version, JPEGs of them, and you'll have them and you can use them, okay? So that's all you're going to do there. So once I've uploaded my thumbnails, you'll see that if I click on them, I can move them around and change the order of them. The order that they're in right now is the order they're going to show in my single property website slideshow and the virtual tour that is embedded within, okay? So I'm going to move that one back because it's my nice one. If I want to delete anything in here, that's okay. Everything has a little X, you can delete it, okay? You can download an individual picture if you want. Also, if you have taken pictures yourself on your phone, and this happens all the time, people upload them and they are sideways. So there's a little rotate button. So if you have taken pictures and you want to rotate it so it looks it's going the right way, portrait or landscape, you can do that as well. The other thing you can do on this page, you'll notice each thumbnail has a little link that says add edit caption. If I click on that, I get a little interface where I can type in a caption if I want. This is optional. You do not have to do this. But if there's something specific in a picture that you want to point out to the viewer, you can type that in there. And you can move to the next image, next image, next image. You don't have to do it on every image. It's not an all or nothing thing. If you want to exit, you can just exit. Okay, and then we're right back where we were. So that's basically all that you're going to do on the media page. It seems like a lot, but really, as I said, most of our clients will upload their still imagery and that's it. And then they move on to the next step. Not many people use videos, Matterport, custom links. Some do, but not everybody. So don't worry about all the extra bells and whistles if you don't need them. Next on the navigation is the map. This is really easy. It is just a Google map and we have plunked down a marker to show the listing address, okay? So you won't ever have to do anything on this page, but you should double check and make sure the marker is in the right place because Google doesn't always get it right, okay? If it's not in the right place, you can click on it and just shift it to where it's supposed to be. Maybe it's supposed to be down here, let go, now it's in the right place. And that's it, that's all you do on this page, okay? Next up is floor plans. Again, this is totally optional. Not everybody is going to have floor plans for their listing. And even if you do, you may not want to include it in your virtual tour single property website. I'm showing you how it works in case you do want it. I uploaded floor plans back on my media page. And because I did that, my floor plans show here. I also get to see all my thumbnail images that I uploaded on the media page. And if I want to, I can drag and drop these onto the floor plan and then it turns into a little camera icon. I can click on it and it pops up nice and big. If I want to illustrate it further when they're in the single property website. If I don't want to do that, I can just exit out of that and not have it. But I mean, a lot of people like to see a floor plan. I love a floor plan personally. So if I had one, I would use it. And then I would drag and drop the images to where they're supposed to go in the house, if that's the living room, if this is the kitchen. It just makes for a nice product from the front end. Remember, we're in the back end, so we're seeing it. It looks different. We're going to look at the front end when we're done. That's all you do for floor plans. Again, it's optional. You don't have to have it. Next up is flyer. Now, if you're doing this, if you're in here for the first time and you're starting with your virtual tour, when you get to flyer, it's going to be empty. You're not going to have a flyer because you haven't made one yet. I have a flyer sitting here because this is one of my test accounts and I've already made a flyer. You don't have to deal with this right now. Because I have one and I want this flyer to be a PDF that someone can download when they're on my single property website, I can just drag and drop that thumbnail over there and now it's going to be here. If I had a bunch of flyers, they would all show up in here. If I have none, that's okay. I can finish my tour and then come back anytime later once I've made a flyer and drag and drop it over. The nice thing about virtual tours and single property websites is that you can edit them in real time. And then anytime someone goes and looks at your tour, it will always show the most recent version. You can't do that with print stuff. Once you've printed it, it's printed. You can't go back and edit it without having to reprint it. The nice thing about virtual tours, it's instant. So if there's a price drop or anything changes, you can jump back in your nav bar to property details, change the price, and then the next time someone looks at your thing, it's the most recent version. Okay, so flyer, optional. You don't have to have it, but if you have one, it might be nice that someone can download a PDF of it. Some people are old school. They like that PDF thing. Some people are digital. We try to cater to both. After flyer is branding. Now on the branding page, we just give you a few options to change the look and feel of your tour so maybe it matches your own look and feel better, right? Like maybe your logo, I've got this set to blue, but maybe your logo has red in it, right? So if you want to change the color, you just click on these. I'm going to click on red, and then this will reload right in front of you so you can see how it looks. Ah, okay. And you'll notice that my name and my brokerage, my headshot, my logo, my address, my contact information, my social media, this all shows up here automatically because I took the time and filled it all in when I made my account, right? So this is one of those places where I'm just telling you, it's all here for you. You'll notice on the side, if I hadn't done this, that's okay. You can still upload your headshot, upload or change your logo, enter all your contact information, or edit it right here if you want. But to save you time, if you do it ahead of time, it's all here for you. So in addition to colors, you can change your font if you want to play around and see how they look. You can choose to show all of your listings at the very bottom of the single property website, or you can hide them. And if you work with a partner, you can actually tick number 2 and have 2 agents that show up down here. And all of this will update as you make every change. I'm not going to go through all these changes because it's going to reload every time, and we're on a bit of a time crunch, and everything is a bit slower on webinar. So that's what you do on the branding page. We don't let you go crazy, but you have a few options: colors, fonts, showing your listings, you know, that kind of stuff. Okay. Next up is SEO. So this used to be a mystery like a decade ago, right? But more and more people understand what SEO is. It stands for Search Engine Optimization. So when someone is going into Google or wherever they search for things online and they're looking for properties, they're going to type in something like, ooh, a 4-bedroom house with a swimming pool. And then any websites like your single property website that has some keywords that would match what they searched for, there's a much better chance that your single property website is going to show up in the search results. So this is optional, but honestly, it only takes a minute to type in some keywords, and this is editable, right? You can just type in whatever you want in here. I wouldn't say close to schools, but you can do some pair, close schools, downtown, like anything you want to put in here that you think someone might search for that is relevant to your listing, do it, and then just hit update, and then they're updated. This text here, this is actually your property description text that was back on the property details page. We have taken that text and dumped it in here for people who had trouble coming up with keywords. You can take keywords right out of here and then just copy and paste it. Yeah.
It's because she is this car. Do you already have a list of keywords that maybe people use frequently?
No, but you know what? That's a very good idea. That is something we could add to this page, a little button that says sample keywords that are most searched for, and then you could look at them and see. That's it. You know what? I'm going to take a note of that. This is another thing. Whenever you guys think of something that we don't have that you would like to see, please let me know, because we add features all the time based on what you guys need. So that is a very good idea. And we're always updating the software. Yeah, so that's great. Yes, I would love to do that. I would like to redo this page actually, so it's a little more updated because people are more educated on what SEO is. Back in the day, when we first put it in, most people had no idea what it was. They never bothered with this page. They just skipped it. So all good. That's a great idea. Okay, so add some keywords. It only takes a minute. It could make a big difference in how often your single property website shows up in a search, which is what you want. Okay. All right, next up is music. Music, again, is totally optional. When someone opens up your single property website, there's no music that plays right away, okay? If they go into the virtual tour portion, which is the moving slideshow, then you can have music that plays in that portion. And some of our clients love it and some never use it. Some couldn't be bothered. Some don't care. The point is you can do it if you want. You can click on any of these little guys and it will play music. So I can hear music now because I've got a headset on, but you can't probably because it probably doesn't come through the speaker for you. So you can listen. If there's one that you like, just tick it and then it will play the music when someone's viewing the virtual tour portion, okay? Not when they just open up your property website, okay? If you don't want music, just tick no music. Easy peasy. Okay, next up is preview. This is where we're going to preview the actual website. Now I'm going to make my window a bit smaller because I have a massive wide monitor that I use for design, and most people are going to look at your single property website like this. Okay, so this is a preview. Don't panic. This is not live on the internet. Okay, we're still in the Realtour account. This is your chance to go through and see how it looks and see if you want to make any edits. So when I keep saying single property website, it's because it looks like a mini website that features one property. Okay, so here was my title text that I had on my property details page. There's my listing address, the price. Here's my contact information and my headshot. I should really make that a woman since I'm a woman and I don't know why I have that headshot there, but anyway, I'll change that. You notice that the first thing we have at the top is a nice slideshow, right? And you can just click next, 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 and go through all my beautiful pictures. We used to have a moving slideshow, but we found that a lot of our viewers, people do not want to sit through stuff that takes longer than a few seconds. Most people just want to quickly go next, next, next. If they like what they see, then they're going to spend more time. But they don't want to necessarily sit through the full moving virtual tour because it's a few seconds per picture. So we have a slideshow at the top. If you scroll down, these are the actual pictures in a gallery. So you can click on these and they'll open up full screen and then you can look at them full screen if you want. So there's all the pictures. Scrolling down, here is the property details. So when I filled in all that information on that page, it auto-populates into here. And I'll show you the difference between it auto-populating here and into a flyer. Not all this information auto-populates into a flyer, okay? I can download a flyer, and the reason I can do that is because if you'll remember, I had this little flyer sitting in my account ready to go. If you don't have a flyer, don't worry about it. This just won't show up. If you want to add a flyer, you can exit out of here, go into eFlyers or print materials, make the flyer, drag and drop it over, go back to preview, and it'll show up. You can also forward this listing to a friend, and this was something you didn't have to do in the back end. We just do it for you. So if someone's looking at this listing and they really like it and they want to send it to their sister or their husband or whoever so they can see it, you just fill in their name, hit send, and they'll get an email with a link to this virtual tour. Okay, if I scroll down, oh, remember on the media page, I had uploaded an extra custom link to a Zillow tour. So that was just because one of our photographers does them and I put it in here so I can do a Zillow tour and walk through the house. I don't know how well this looks to you guys coming over webinar, but for me, it looks amazing. And if you have a Matterport tour, they look great. We embed them right in the single property website and someone can actually go on a tour of the actual house, which I think is really cool. Anyway, if you don't have that, don't worry about it. It's just an extra thing that some people have. Scrolling down, here's my location. Again, this is a Google map. There's my little marker. I can click on this Google map and move around. I can zoom in, zoom out. It's a functioning Google map, okay? Scrolling down, now remember I had a floor plan. I have a great big floor plan. I don't know why it's so big. So there's my floor plan that I could have if I wanted. I could drag over images if I want them and you can click on them and it'll show the pictures on the floor plan. All good, right? You don't have to have this, it's optional. I had 2 floor plans uploaded. You can download them, you can print them. They're just JPEGs that I uploaded, but again, optional. And then down at the bottom, I have my contact information and a little form someone can fill in. Now, on the branding page, I ticked hide all my listings for some reason. If I had ticked show my listings, they would all show up in a section down here because maybe this is a good chance to advertise all my other listings at the same time. Okay? Now I'm going to make this big again because remember, we left the back end and went into a new tab to preview. So we're not live. If there's anything in here that I want to change, maybe I want to change the order of my pictures in the slideshow. Maybe I noticed a spelling mistake in one of my captions. I can close this, jump back to Realtour, and I'm right back where I was. I went from music to preview. Okay, if I click preview, it's going to open it up again, but I can go back to where I was, and then I can jump back using the navigation bar. Maybe I go back to media. Maybe I change the order of my pictures, like I want this one over here. Maybe I delete a couple pictures because let's face it, it's just too many to sit through. You get the idea. You can always come back in to edit your tour anytime you want. Okay, after preview, I'm going to show you links. Okay, this is where you get the links to the live tour. We house them all here together under the links tab. Now, some MLSs will allow you to have a branded single property website. So here's the link for it. You can copy it or you can click on this. It's live. Again, it's live inside your Realtor account. It's not out there on the internet for everyone to see yet. You can also do an unbranded tour because some MLSs like it unbranded. You can download just the moving virtual tour portion if you want. If you want to have that, maybe your client wants it or you want to use it somewhere else. It's outside of the single property website. And then here's code. If you want to embed all of these tours into your personal website, you can give this code to your web developer or maybe you're web savvy and you do it yourself. Okay, so that stuff, these will always be stored on the links tab right here. Domain name. Let me go back to links. Right now, this is what your URL is for your tour. It says vtour, realtor.biz, and then has the address, the listing address. If you don't like this and you want something more personal, you can go into domain name and type in something else and see if it's available. If it's available, you can purchase it for $20, and then it will be what people click on and use in your marketing to get to this virtual tour. Most of our clients do not bother with this because most of the time they never really see the URL. They simply are on the MLS or their website and there's a button that says watch my virtual tour or visit my virtual tour, and they never really see the URL. So if you want to do it, you can, but most people don't bother, so don't worry about it. QR code. We generate a QR code. Yep, go ahead.
So if we already have like a domain name, is there a way for us to like input that like into our own websites, into our own?
To have them communicate with each other?
Yeah.
Probably. That would be a question. You know what? I'm going to put that to my programmer, Carl, because he'll be able to say, yep, absolutely, or no. So let me just double. I don't want to say yes or no because I don't know for sure, but I'm just going to jot this down. And I can get back to you and let you know 100% if you can use it automatically in here, or if you have to go in and like point it. You have to have DNS codes and point it to your URL that you already own. I'll let you know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, no worries. Okay, QR code, they're free. We generate one with every virtual tour you make. I don't know how many people still use them. I still see them around. It was a big thing back in the day. Everybody wanted them, but I don't know if everybody's using them anymore. The point is you can click download and you'll get a JPEG, and you can use that on your signage. You can use it in your print material. You can use it for whatever you might need, or you can just leave it. You don't have to use it. YouTube. A lot of our agents have their own YouTube channels where they upload videos and information about their listings. You can convert your virtual tour that we just did into a YouTube video and post it onto your YouTube channel from right in here. So I've already done this. So when you come here for the first time, you'll have 3 options. One is just turn this into a video and store it on the Realtour YouTube channel. The other option is to go ahead and turn it into a YouTube video and put it on your channel, and you can do that right through here. And I think the 4th is just to convert it into a video that you can download and just have yourself. Okay, so you can do that all in here, and once it's converted to a video, it will just live in here, and you can watch it if you want, or you can copy the URL, send it to people, send them to YouTube, that kind of thing. Again, I don't know how much agents are using YouTube like they used to. Probably 5 or 6 years ago, it was, you know, a big deal to have it that way, but you might not be using it that much anymore. But we still have it for those of our clients who like to use it. The custom link, if you remember back on the media page, I had uploaded a Zillow tour. So here's the link for that. And this is just that, you know, if I hired a photographer to do the Zillow tour and my client wants to see the Zillow tour outside of the single property website, here's a link where they can click on it and just watch the tour. And I can watch it in here as well, or play around with it. It's a tour that you walk through. But this just allows you to do it outside of the single property website, which is nice. Okay, hang in there, guys. We're getting close. The last thing is statistics, okay? Every Monday, we will send you an email with a stats report for all of your active listings in your Realtour account. Okay, we don't send this to your clients because you may not want them to see. You never know, right? Okay, so you can manage this on the statistics tab if you want your client to also receive the weekly report and see how many people have watched the single property website, how many people sat through the virtual tour, how many people clicked on things, how many people came back. If you want them to see those numbers as well, you can enter their name and their email address and add them. And then every Monday, they will get the same stats report as you do, but just for this listing. They're not going to get a stats report for all of your listings. They're just going to get the one that you've signed them up to. You, on the other hand, will get a stats report for all your listings, okay? And I mean, sometimes stats can make a listing look great and sometimes they don't. Stats can be twisted and turned around, as we all know. So sometimes statistics is a great thing and sometimes it doesn't really tell the whole story. But you have the freedom to use them or not use them, share them or not share them. And once a listing has sold, if you go into the account and set that listing to inactive or you delete it because it's done, the stats reports will stop as well. Okay? All right, I'm going back to the home page. That was it for making a virtual tour. That was a lot of information. It took us a long time to go through it, but don't worry. Like I said, a lot of our clients will upload pictures, maybe add music, maybe add one extra thing or not, and then that's it. And they've got a single property website that's clean and simple, and that's all they do. Most of the stuff in there was optional. You don't have to use it. And you do get a free platinum grade virtual tour, which is what we just went through with all the extra bells and whistles. You get that for free if you book a photo shoot or if you do an e-flyer and blast out the e-flyer. You also get a virtual tour for free that way. So if you only want to use us for e-flyers, that's fine. If you make an e-flyer and send it out, we'll give you a free virtual tour. Okay, so it's also a good deal. This is another thing I want. Next, we're going to go through how to make an e-flyer. If you're going to do an e-flyer blast and you want to use our virtual tour as well, and you know you get the virtual tour for free, make the virtual tour first. Because then when you send out the flyer, the virtual tour will automatically be connected to that e-flyer and you don't have to go in and edit it, right? You send out the e-flyer, someone clicks on it, they go right to your virtual tour and it's all edited and up to date, okay? So that's just a little tip. All right, e-flyers. This will not take as long as the virtual tour, I promise. It's easier to make. I'm going to click on e-flyers. And once again, I'm on my listings page, right? We always land on the listings page. So you don't have to make your listing more than once. But if you don't have the listing created, maybe you only use us for e-flyers. You have your own pictures, you have your own virtual tour link, whatever. You can come into virtual tours, or sorry, e-flyers on the listing page, and you're going to create the listing. We're not going to do that. We're going to use the same listing we did the tour for just to save us some time, the 111 Main Street. Under options, I could go in and deal with my property details. I can create a new flyer. I can edit an existing one because sometimes our clients will make 3 or 4 flyers for a listing, send them out once a week for a month, something like that. I can set the listing inactive when it's done. Today, I'm going to create new because we want to go through the process. So I just click on create new, and it takes me right into the back end of the e-flyer creator. You'll notice at the top, we have a navigation bar. So it's similar to the virtual tour, but obviously the steps are different. And it has dumped us right from the beginning, right to the template library. And the reason it has done this is because I've already done my property details. I've already uploaded my pictures, so on and so forth. So it's just taking me right to template library. If I was doing this from scratch and I had just created my listing, it would force me back to the beginning and it would make me go through these steps, okay? Right now, we're in the template library. We have a lot of templates, okay? Now, we've done a few things in the library to save you time and make your life easier so you don't have to scroll through the hundreds of templates. When you land in the template library, you're always going to land on your favorites. So most of our clients use 1, 2, or 3 templates over and over and over again. They have their favorites. They like to use them every time. That's totally fine. To make your life easier, we've put them right here under favorites. So then you don't have to go searching for them. You can just click on them and away you go. Okay? So that's one nice feature about favorites. We also have a lot of clients who will find a favorite template, but they might want to modify it. You can make your own custom template. You could pick one of our templates and we'll modify it and generate whatever changes you want. And then we will upload it in here. It's $20 to modify one of ours. Or if you want us to design a custom template completely from scratch that has all your branding and everything you want, I think it's $50 to do that. Again, we can do that and upload a template in here and only you will have access to it. Anything you pay to customize, not everybody gets access, because you paid for it. So we would upload those. We would make a custom category with your name. Mine just says Realtour, but if we did one for you, it would be your name. You would click on it and then your templates would show up here and nobody else can access them. In the meantime, you'll see that we have all these different categories. We have blank templates. If I click on that, these are blank, portrait, landscape. A lot of people have their own in-house marketing department that will make a flyer for them, or they'll make their own flyers in Canva or something like that. You can do that. I think probably the bulk of flyers we send out come from people with their own and they just use our blank template. It's like a holder. You just upload either a JPEG or a PDF. It has to be 8.5 by 11, okay? And then you can blast it out using our system, but you have your own template. If you want to make your own flyer using one of our templates, you can scroll through and explore all the different categories. For example, if I click on open house, here are a bunch of flyers that are suitable for open houses. Maybe I have a luxury listing. Here are, templates that are more suitable for a luxury listing. Maybe I want to go by color. Say I want luxury and I want it to be, I don't know, blue because that matches my listing or my logo. So now I've got the luxury ones that are blue, right? So you get the idea. You can go through these. Maybe I want to do it by city. Maybe I want to do a holiday flyer. Maybe I want to go by number of images. I want a flyer that just shows one beautiful image. I can do that. I can also go by number of listings. So maybe I have 3 or 4 listings that I want to advertise and I can just click on 4 listings and then I'll see, oh, I don't have any for 4. Oh, you know why? Because I've chosen luxury as well. It's working in tandem. There we go. 4. These ones feature 4 listings. Maybe I'm organizing an open house weekend and people can go and look at all 4 of these listings. Same thing with number of agents, right? If I have 2 agents, I can tick 2 and then all these flyers feature room for 2 agent contact information. I'm going to deselect that. Let's go back up. Let's do a luxury one just for fun. And let's just choose this one that's blue. So under options, I can click on preview and it just pulls it up nice and big so I can see it. Now this is a finished flyer. This is all just fake content so that you can see what your flyer could look like once you're done, right? It's just so you can see how this could look so you can decide, is this suitable for the information I have? If you're happy with it, just click on select. Now the system is going to initialize the template. Okay, it takes a few seconds. And again, it's always a bit slower on webinar. So plus my internet is not the greatest. Okay, so it's creating the template for us. All right, so we are back in the back end. We went from the library to edit template. So this is our little template editor. So if I scroll down, you can see there's the template, okay? I have a great big green square. This is my image field. It says drag and drop your image here. Over here on the left, here are all of my thumbnails. These pictures already show up here because I already uploaded them when I made my virtual tour. If you don't use us for photo shoots or virtual tours, that's totally fine. You've got a little photo option here. I can upload images right in here if I want to use my own, and a lot of our clients do that, okay? So that's all good. When I'm ready, if I want to get my image into the template, I just pick the one I want and I drag, drop it over and let go. It shows up, and then if I click save, it actually renders the template and places the image on the layer it's supposed to be. So if there's any kind of writing that goes on top of it or a graphic design feature that goes on top of it, once I've rendered it, it will place itself in the template properly, and you get to see the finished product without having to leave this page. So that looks pretty good, doesn't it? So there it is, nice underneath the little graphic design part, great. And I didn't have to leave the page to do it, so that's a nice feature. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, my flyer looks finished, doesn't it? It's amazing. The reason it looks finished is because all of the information in here auto-populated, because I filled it in on the property details when I ordered my photo shoot or when I did my virtual tour, okay? And when I did my account, my contact information, my headshot, logo, social media, this all auto-populated into here. Okay, so I think we can address that question someone had earlier. I'm going to skip back to property details. So a lot of this information here, this is not going to auto-populate into every flyer. It will only auto-populate into a flyer that has a field specifically designated for it. The flyer I chose does not. It has a price field, so that auto-populated. It has the address field, so that auto-populated. It has the property description field, so that auto-populated. So this information, all this extra stuff is not going to auto-populate into your e-flyer unless you choose a template that has fields for all of this. And most of our templates don't. Most of our templates, let's go back to edit template, because remember, I can just jump back to where I was. This one has room for a title, property description, the features, my contact information, and the address and the price. So I chose a very simple template, okay? And the reason our flyers, we don't have all the information is because really the flyer is meant to be a teaser that someone gets in their inbox, they click on it, and up opens the single property website with all the information. So that's really what an e-flyer is supposed to be. It's like a little visual introduction that you click on and then you go to the proper website with all the stuff. So that's why it's like that, okay? You'll notice even though this looks like a finished flyer and all my text is auto-populated, if I mouse over any of these text fields, they're active. So even though this is auto-populated, I can still edit the information in here. So if I want to edit the information in my property description, I just click on it. And then over here, my little photo bucket becomes a text editor. And there's my text. This was the text that was in my property description from my property details page. If I want less text here, because maybe there's just too much and I want to make this bigger, I just edit it in here. So I can select this, and let's just say I want to delete that because it's just too much text. And maybe I want to make it a size bigger. I just select it. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Select it, and I can go from 10 to, let's say, 12. Actually, let's go 14. And then I hit Save Text. The template is going to render, and then I'm going to see my change in the template itself without having to leave this page. So there it is, less text and bigger. Okay? You can do that for any of these text fields. So for example, maybe for some reason, and this won't, the text that I just deleted, it didn't delete it from the property details. It's only deleted it from the flyer. So if someone clicks on this and goes to the virtual tour associated with this, they're going to see all the text on the property details page. Okay? The edits I'm doing in here are for this flyer only. If there's text in here that I don't want at all in the flyer, like some people don't want the price. They want the client, the person to call you to get the price. So I can click on that text field. I can highlight the price, delete it, hit save. Again, template's going to render.
Those sheets are.
And now it's gone. Now we just have a nice background with nothing there. If I want to put something else there, I can just mouse over and I can click to edit. Maybe I want to put the text, call me for price. And then I would just type that in, this would render and it would show up. So we give you a little bit of freedom with the templates, we don't allow you to shift stuff around too much. Really, we're kind of trying to save people from themselves. In the past, you could do a little more with your flyers, but oh, they always ended up, the layouts were terrible and so on and so forth. So we've kind of tried to control the layout so that you'll end up with the nicest finished product. You can edit the text in here. You can edit the images. If I want a different picture, I can drag and drop something over top of it. If there's a picture in here that I don't want, you'll notice every image field has an X. Maybe I don't want the QR code. I can click on the X and it will remove the QR code. It'll keep the image field, so I could drag and drop a different image over there. See how it's an image field? Maybe I want to drag and drop a different logo. Maybe I have 2 logos. Who knows? If I don't want anything, I can also delete the actual image field itself, and then that nice teal blue background is what will show up there. Okay? And if I want to bring it back, it says restore, I can bring it back. So it's totally up to you. You have a little bit of freedom. Okay, so we've just done images and I've just shown you how to do the text. Subject. Every time you send out an e-flyer blast, you have to have a subject line. And it's the same as if you're sending an email. You've got to have, usually you're going to have some subject text in there. So if someone gets your email, they know what it's about. Do they need to open it? Do they not need to open it? You get the picture. So put in, you can put in whatever you want. Oh, that's book a floor plan. I won't put that one. Let's put something else. What have I got here? Amazing family house for sale. Okay? Try not to do this. Putting a bunch of exclamation marks, right? Even though you're excited about your listing, that is a spam flag. So don't put exclamation marks. Put something interesting and informative in the subject line that's going to make another real estate agent want to open your listing, okay? Save. Now your subject is saved. Next up is links. As I mentioned, every single flyer you send, you get a free platinum virtual tour. And the system will generate that platinum tour for you using the images from your e-flyer and using the information that you've put in the e-flyer or your property details. So if you only use us for e-flyers, once you've done the e-flyer, we'll generate a tour. You should then go and edit the tour before you blast this out so they work in tandem, but you don't have to. When you come to links, we automatically put a title, view the virtual tour, and we paste the link for this listing to the virtual tour to save you time, okay? So you don't have to go back into virtual tours, find the link, copy, paste it, put it here. It's already sitting here for you. If you do not want to use us for your virtual tours, that's fine too. These boxes are editable. You could delete that and paste in a link to your own virtual tour. Maybe use a different company for them. Maybe you just want this to link to your website. That's fine. You can have more than one link. Maybe you want the virtual tour and then add a link. You could have, you know, my website, and maybe it's jana.com. You could have like a welcome to Austin, and maybe it's austin.com. If there's anything you want to delete, notice there's an X beside all of these. I can delete that. I can hit save links. So I'm going to have my flyer linked to the virtual tour that I made specifically for this listing. I'm going to have it linked to my personal website. These are fake, by the way. I'm going to have this linked to a Welcome to Austin website, and that's what I'm going to have my flyer linked to, okay? Or you can have nothing. It's totally up to you. Last but not least, social media. If you want your social media links to appear at the bottom of the flyer, you can have them here. Mine are already here because I did it when I set up my account. Remember, I went into social media, I pasted my URLs. If you want to do that here, you can click here and do it now. If you don't want it to show up here, just deselect these, okay? Super easy. I'm going to have mine show up on my social media, but you don't have to. Okay, that is all you do on the edit template. We're almost done, guys. Bear with me. Next up is view proof. I'm going to click view proof. This is the most important part of making an e-flyer. And I say this because I'm not kidding you. Almost every day I will get a panicked email or phone call from an agent who just blasted out an e-flyer to 5,000 people and there's a mistake in the flyer. And they're like, oh my God, I did an open house flyer and I forgot to put the time. I forgot to put the date. I've got the wrong price. When you make a virtual tour, you can make any edits you want and it updates the virtual tour instantly. That is not the case with an e-flyer, okay? Because this is not digital anymore. This becomes an image in someone's inbox. And whatever you send out, this is what they see. So if there's a mistake, yes, you can go back into e-flyers and edit it, But the only way that you can get this back out to the client is if you re-blast it out. And that just looks really unprofessional. And it's confusing because now the person has 2 emails in a row from you. One has the right time, one has the wrong time. They get confused because they get 100 emails a day and they don't know which one's right. So I don't mean to harp on it, but I'm telling you, it is a real issue. So view proof, take 5 minutes and view the proof. Make sure this is how you want it to be. This is how it's going to look. Here's your subject. This is what's going to show up in the person's email subject when they get it. This is what the flyer itself is going to look like. There's the picture, there's my text, proofread it, make sure it looks good, so on and so forth. Remember, I deleted that, but I didn't delete the image field. That's why that shows up. But if I go back in, there's a mistake. I could say, oh, I didn't want the QR code. I didn't want anything there. I see there's a mistake. I can jump back to edit template. I can delete that image field, come back to view proof, and it's gone. So that's the kind of mistake you're going to notice. Okay? Let's just say everything looks good up here. I can scroll down. Here's my link. These are live. I can click on these and make sure that they go to the right places. I can click on these and make sure they go to the right places. Okay? Here's my contact information. I can make sure that goes to the right place. All that stuff. You can also send a proof of this to your client, which is a good idea because then they're going to look at it and sign off on it and it kind of covers your butt, right? So you can click on client proof, put in their email address, type a little message. Hi, Bob, here's the flyer for your house. I'm going to go live with it tomorrow morning. Let me know if you want any changes. Hit send, and then Bob gets the proof. Bob gets this same picture and they can see if there's anything they want to change. They call you and say, Jana, I really hate that image. Can we please use an image of the swimming pool? No problem. I can log back into the eFlyer, jump back to the template editor and drag and drop a new picture, go back to view proof, send it back to Bob. He says, looks amazing. I love it. Then I know I'm ready to send it out. Okay? Proof your flyer. It's just a few minutes and it will save you in the end. Okay, let's say our flyer is perfect. It's good to go. We're ready to blast it out. Distribution. This is the final bit, and it's really easy to do, okay? I come to distribution, and the first thing I land on is a Google map with a blast area, a nice square, and my listing, the address of my listing is plunked right in the middle. So we go ahead and create this blast area. And some of our clients will look at it and say, yep, looks good, and that's it. They move ahead. You'll see over here on the right, we have a little summary that shows you in this blast area, there are this many agents, and it's going to cost this much money to send it out. If you're good to go with that and you don't want to change this, just add it to the shopping cart and away you go. But you can make some edits. Maybe like 8,000 agents, that's a lot of people to blast this to. Maybe you want to do a more targeted hit with this flyer. So you'll notice the little blast area has little handles on the corners. You can make this smaller. Maybe you just want to blast it to whatever. Let's move this, and I can move it around. See why I'm moving it? Maybe I just want to go right downtown Austin. This is a Google map. I can move it around. I can zoom in so it's bigger and I can see what I'm doing, right? There we go. Every time I zoom in, every time I make changes, you'll notice over here, my summary has recalculated. Now it's going to 1,980 agents for $26. Ah, that sounds better to me. It's more targeted. This is where I want it to go, okay? If for whatever reason there are 2 different geographical areas you want to cover with this flyer, you can add an additional target area. Just click, we dump another one of a different color right next to your first one so you can find it. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to click on the purple one and I'm going to move it up to where my listing was. That's my listing address. Makes sense. I should probably blast this area too. I notice over here, area number 2 has 239 agents. Well, that sounds good. It's only $2 extra. I'm going to blast these 2 areas. Okay? So the map is really easy to use. It's not, I mean, ideally, I would love to be able to give you guys a tool where you can draw your blast area. Maybe it follows along the shape of a highway or something. And someday I think we'll get there where we can do that. But for now, your area has straight edges. So it might bleed over a highway and there's maybe 1 or 2 agents. We can't fix that yet, but these are pretty good. And most of our clients love using this, and you can make them bigger, smaller. You can go to a different state or a different city. If you want to blast these 2 areas in Austin and then you want to blast an area in Houston, just zoom out and move down. Okay, here's San Antonio. You could zoom in, make another target area for San Antonio. You can use this however you want, right? Some of our agents, most of our clients will have one blast area. They keep it simple and away they go. Some of our agents or our photographers are using this for marketing purposes, and they want to blast 3 different cities all at the same time. You could make a listing, one for each city, and do one blast, or you could just say marketing 3 different areas in one, do it all at once. You can use the system however it works best for you. Okay, but this is how the map works. Super easy. If you change your mind and you don't want one of these, they have a little X beside them. I changed my mind. I don't want this one. Delete. Now it's just going to one target area, my original target area for this much money. Okay, so this is the target area option. Beside it, add your own contacts. If I click on that, this is where I can add in my own individual preferred clients or customers or other agents, anybody who I want also to get this flyer who may not be in my geographical target area. You can type in their email address, or if you have an Excel spreadsheet or a list, you can copy and paste them in. As long as they're have a comma between each one, you can dump a whole bunch of them in, okay? If you find that you've got the same 20 or 30 people that you want to receive all of your flyers, you can dump in their email addresses, and then instead of having to do this every time, create a distribution list with those people. Give it a name, call it like my Gold Star clients. Hit save. Oh, this isn't going to work because I didn't put any addresses in. Let's put whatever at whatever biz.com, just a fake email address. Okay, save the list. Great. Now I have a Gold Star client with that one email that I just did. And if I want this flyer to also go to that Gold Star client, I just tick. Anytime I do an e-flyer, my Gold Star clients are going to show up in the list of distribution lists that I can select if I want. If I don't want it, delete, and it won't go there. Okay? This just means you don't have to do this every time. If I add someone, it's going to show up over here. I'm sending it to one person, one agent. It's going to show up over here as well. Okay? And then it'll add on to your total as well. So if you have a CSV file, you can upload that and then create a distribution list based on that as well. You can use this or not use this. Some of our clients always add their own clients and never use the target area. Some only use the target area. Hang tight, we're almost done, I promise. Last but not least, set your send date. So this is an example of a feature that we never used to have until clients started asking us for us, and then we just built it. So basically, some people want to put together their e-flyer blast today, but they don't want it to go out until tomorrow. So it used to be that you would make your flyer and it wouldn't go out until you paid for it. But if you're out of the office all day tomorrow, that's not going to work for you. You might want to pay for it today, knowing that it's going to go out tomorrow morning. You now have the option to do that. So when you land on set your send date, we automatically put today as soon as possible as the default because that's what most of our clients use. If you want it to go out tomorrow instead, you can click tomorrow and then choose the time, early morning between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. If that's what I want, good to go. That's how it's going to be set. I go to my shopping cart, I pay for it now, and it's going to go out tomorrow between 6 and 9 a.m. Okay? You don't have to use this, totally optional, but it gives you a little bit of freedom if you're not in the office, but you still want to make sure this goes out. And when it does go out, you will get an e-flyer from us saying, hey, your flyer has started sending. You'll get another one that says, hey, your flyer has finished sending. Okay, so you'll always know when something happens. Add this to the shopping cart. Now it's in my shopping cart. As soon as I pay for it, I'm done. If there's a mistake in here or I want to start again, I can delete it out of the shopping cart. Okay, I'm going back to the dashboard. We've just gone through photo shoots, we've gone through virtual tours, we've gone through e-flyers. If you want, you guys, you tell me because it's been an hour, we can go through print materials, but I will tell you, making a print flyer is the exact same as making an e-flyer. The only difference is that you don't go through the distribution process. You download a PDF that you're going to print. Okay, so that's the only difference. And our print material, we have double-sided template. So e-flyers are only one-sided. What you saw, what we just made, that's all you get. Print material, you can make a double-sided, you can make a postcard, you can make a brochure, which is basically 4 8.5 by 11 pages, which you then download a PDF, print it, and fold it in half. So you can let me know if you want to see what those templates look like, or if this has gone on long enough for today, we can stop now. What do you think?
So, we can stop for now, but I will kind of reach out or ask Kimberly on like the printing services, like if we can print like to a third party through here, or we'd have to like print on our own.
Use our Mac for that, you can even.
Yes.
sign it here.
Some of the offices have in-house print systems, and then you download a PDF and do it. You can, when you get into the print material portion, just like with the e-flyer, when you sent a proof to your client, you can send a PDF to your printer from this back end. Like say you always use Staples or Office Depot, you can hit send this to Office Depot, put in their email address, write a message, hi Mike, please print, 50 copies of this double-sided on cardstock. I need it for Thursday. And then a print quality PDF will go to whoever you send it to. So it just depends how you guys do it. A lot of our agents literally just download the PDF into their own computer and they print them at home on their own printers in their home offices. So that's up to you guys.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Jana.
Thank you.
Yeah. So listen, I know that's a lot of information coming at you. It is really, really easy to use these products. We've made them as simple as possible. You'll notice that we repeated stuff a lot, and we do that on purpose just so that once you figure out how to do one of these products, you pretty much do the same thing for all of them. And the last thing I'll tell you, if you want to go into your Realtour account and just practice, keep in mind, every listing I just showed you, these are all fake. You can go in and create a fake listing, just make up an address or use your own home address. You can upload some JPEGs of your own. You can type in some fake listing information and you can make a virtual tour. You can make an e-flyer. You can even send it to the shopping cart. And once you get to the shopping cart, remember I deleted those orders out of the cart, just delete them. So you can make as much practice material as you like. You'll never have to pay for it. Just delete it out of the shopping cart or don't even send it to the shopping cart. Just play around. And if you have any problems, you can email me or Kimberly. If you want to jump on a one-on-one session, just email me. We can jump on for 15 minutes and go through one thing if you're having trouble. Also, if you go into the help and support page, so from your dashboard page, help and support, there are 3 videos on how to order a photo shoot, how to make a tour, how to send an e-flyer. And it is literally me doing a webinar, recording myself talking, and they're just videos that you can watch. And then you can pause anytime you want and go through it, watch it. It's the exact same as what we just went through, okay? It's all easy to use. You'll get the hang of it. Reach out if you need help with anything. And Kimberly, I don't know if you're going to explain to them that you guys, if you're signing up through Kimberly and Fatco, you get a 25% discount when you send out your e-flyers, okay? If you buy a virtual tour, you get a 25% discount if you do an e-flyer, or if you hire us to make a custom template, you get a 25% discount on all of that. The only thing you don't get a discount on, unfortunately, is the professional photography. And that's because our photographers, they don't work for us directly. They are their own contract photographers. They have their own businesses. They handle their own pricing and packages. We just set up a back end because we found that in the past, our agents were using photographers to get pro photo shoots, and it was just easier if the photographer could upload those finished pictures into the real estate agent's account, and then they could use it in their marketing stuff. So other than professional photo shoots, you get a 25% discount on everything else. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will post this video to YouTube tomorrow and send a link to Kimberly that she can send to everybody.
Perfect. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.